Okay, here it comes. Brendan Gaughan leading it.
Now the 18 jumps up there to take over that. He's going to get some help. That'll take a little bit of energy out of that middle groove.
3 wide for the lead. Here comes the 18 on the high side. Bushes in the second and third lane. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the bottom. 3 wide through the tri-oval.
What's Kyle Busch going to do right here? He's got the lead. Is he going to stay up top?
I think he has to. As long as that momentum's there, keep it.
Look how far it shoved him out in front, though. Can't block 3 lanes when they catch you. 1 car sideways.
Yeah, Kurt Busch is all over the place right now. Now the 18 drops down to the bottom. He'll block the inside line.
Why, a tough spot for Kyle Busch. What lane's he going to block? The outside lane. Now the inside lane's going to come.
Here comes the inside lane. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. back to the front. Another hood flap flies off.
Oh!
Around comes the 18. The 42 collects the 17 as well. The 62 upside down. Brendan Gaughan upside down as he went back in front of the pack.
We're wrecked here, guys.
And the big one happens right at the front of the field.
That was crazy. Brendan Gaughan just flipped around, fortunately landed on his tires.
The 2, major damage.
That is why drivers' heart rates are through the roof on these late race restarts, these racetracks.
Yeah, the bumpers just don't line up as well as they used to with the old COT, but the pushing is just as aggressive as it's ever been and creates those type of situations.
Rick, you were calling the action 2 and 3 wide. The runs were so big, and 3 wide, you can't move. If you want to avoid the run, you're just going to get hit.
Marty.
I just go back to what Kyle Busch told me before the Motor Mouth show last Wednesday. He said, man, I've been wrecked in the front, in the middle, in the back, and he was leading there and got in this accident. Adam Stevens said, hey, we're going to cut everything off this car we can, and Kyle Busch said, dude, I don't think this thing is going to roll straight. So you see them more dissecting what's going on there, and the same thing for Brad Keselowski trying to get to his pit stall, and you see Brendan Gaughan on the backstretch. Man, what a crazy crash, but good to see Brendan walking away from the car.
When you're in these multi-car accidents, even cutting stuff off and rolling around at 40 miles an hour is a lap. That can score you in front of other cars.
Well, let's check out this replay, see exactly how all this came down.
See Kurt pushing Kyle.
It just hooked him. And
look at Brendan Gaughan just flipping right over.
It's like the nose of that Chevrolet just can't quite push them straight. It just can't do it.
Yeah, the 17 goes up to side draft. I don't think that affects the 18. It's the one just pushing his brother. It peels the 18 off to the right. It looks a lot like the 24 accident. Look at the 62, a full flip back on its wheels. Thank goodness. Instantly stopped the flipping, put the car back in position. But a huge, huge accident.
You wonder though if the side force, like right here, if the side force didn't help push the car and roll it off the front bumper, right?
Yeah.
Just the air moved it
because
to
he's
the
trying
right.
to pull him back.
Yes, and just moved it, and then that helped with that pointed nose of the Chevrolet. The combination of the two.
Oh, this shot right here.
Yeah.
Coming right at you. Look at this 62. It looks like a toy car. It doesn't look real.
3,400 pounds. Remember that. These things are almost 2 tons.
Well, you know, we take off.
Put all you got here. Push them right up to 17.
Kevin.
Half apart now in front. All right, keep low, 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 keep low.
The airport for this racetrack where these drivers teams come in and out of just off of turn 2. Those planes over there land, take off at 125 knots.
Yeah. Yeah, a big jetliner that you fly on, it takes off at 170 miles an hour. We're seeing these guys at 200 miles an hour get airborne.
Yeah. That's
man.
So that you know, looks like a toy car, but it doesn't take much to get air under that car and lift it up off the ground.
Red flag right here, so nobody can work on these cars during the red flag.
We could put all the safety innovation we can into the cars to try to keep them on the ground. But in that situation, you're just not going to be able to do it.
Well, that's the problem. It's one thing for a car to be sliding at that speed, but you saw it wasn't a slide. Once that other car makes impact, it changes all the dynamic forces on the car, puts a little bit of lift once that angle changes. But you saw one flip right back down. You never want to see a car airborne, but you like for them to get back on the ground as soon as possible.
Aggressive blocking up front. And a wild ride for Brendan Gaughan in the 62, upside down at Talladega.
Hey.
So much to talk about after this one is over. NASCAR America Motor Mouse, a special edition right after the race. You can call in, fans, be a part of it. What an incredible accident that just took place. These are the cars that were involved in the most recent big one. And now all of the playoff drivers have been involved in an incident today. You see the 62 of Brendan Gaughan back on the rollback.
So, Rick, we just saw this huge accident down the backstretch. We've looked at it from a few angles, but look right here. Look at the gap between the 18 and the 17, right? So there's at least a car width gap. And as we roll it forward, watch the 17 as he moves up. I asked you, Dale Jr., does that air get squeezed between the two cars? Do you think that can affect the 18?
Yeah, I think the air's so compressed coming off the noses of these cars that getting next to that 18 car sort of shoved it to the right, upsetting that car just enough. Or maybe, just maybe, the 18 saw that 17 coming.
Oh, yeah.
Turned the steering wheel just ever so slightly. And you can't turn the wheel while you're being pushed.
You see the 4 of Kevin Harvick right there. We rode along with him, and you thought he was good, right? He's kind of below the campers right there, and as it rolls forward, he thinks he's going to get through, and at the last minute gets connected in the right rear.
You cannot discount the shape of that Chevrolet nose and to have an effect, you know, with that air pushing on the side of the car, being pushed off of a pointed nose, the combination of those two things, you just can't separate them. I think that they are connected. We talked about Kevin Harvick. I watched a little while ago, heard Denny Hamlin say, hey, we're in pretty good shape, let's miss this wreck. I wondered if Kevin Harvick should have played that game too, right? Like, they were really good in points. Still should be pretty good, but, you know, as good as he were in points, maybe just lay back and watch this wreck happen. Tough call.
Well, Denny Hamlin's strategy perhaps is going to lock him in leaving Talladega. He's currently plus 53. We're going to have to see how these last few laps pan out, but it could take the Denny Hamlin's focus completely off Kansas and let him look forward to, say, Martinsville, a track where he could go win. Marty.
Steve, a couple things to chat about here. First with Kyle Busch and his team. You see the guys kind of standing around. Adam Stevens trying to evaluate all that damage. Man, that's just crazy. But what they're talking about is maybe rolling around a couple of caution laps. They could, in essence, pass a number of cars that were involved in this accident. They sit 15th right now. There should be about 14 cars left running at least here at the end, or on the lead lap, we should say. So that's what they're deciding right now on the 18. Meanwhile, just in front of him on pit road is Brad Keselowski, and they are done. You can see all that speedy dry going down in their pit stall. Paul Wolf saying the track bar is broken in half and there's a hole in the oil pan. He told Brad, don't crank it up because you're going to blow the engine if you do that. So they're going to try and push him back once the red flag is lifted here, but they are done for Brad Keselowski. And then for Joey Logano, out of all this, he's the guy who gets the free pass, believe it or not. Sitting in 26 right now, he'll jump all the way to 14th, the final car on the lead lap. But Joey making the point, and it's a great point, Jeff, to consider. He said, I don't have a car that really can contend. I don't know that I need to be running with those guys up there. So what do you do if you have that damage of a race car if you're Joey Logano and all you're trying to do in these final 6 laps is finish on the lead lap?
Well, you get back on the lead lap for sure. You go ahead and get that, and then you just have to do what your car will allow you, right? If he doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel like he can be in the middle of it, he's better off to just get behind it. You know, get back in the lead lap and get behind it and kind of use Denny Hamlin's logic and wait for other people to wreck. Look at this opportunity that Michael McDowell, Almirola, Hemrick, Austin Dillon, Parker Kligerman, Ty Dillon, Newman. I look at the opportunity. Corey LaJoie. This is a huge opportunity for one of these guys to get a win here, go away a cup winner.
Well, and Blaney, while he has won, he came in at the bottom of the playoff grid. He said, hey, I don't need to win at Talladega. I have to have a good day. Well, even running where he is, he's still 7 points out, right? He's trying to make up points. Take the pressure off Kansas by winning. So you mentioned these guys going after their first win. Well, Ryan Blaney, this would be his career win, right? This would be the biggest win, that golden ticket.
Get him into the round of 8. That's what everyone whose name was in yellow, the playoff drivers, they're wanting to advance to the next round. Dave.
Kurt Busch has made his way from the infield care center. Kurt, what were you working on there with your brother, and what do you think happened?
I was trying to make the middle lane work, and all hell broke loose. We're having a lot of fun today. Just trying to play it steady, gain some points. I don't even know who's left, man. It's pretty wild. The cars are so unstable when we're in that big draft pushing hard. It just takes the smallest little slip up.
Kurt, how good was your race car? I know it was good out front and as a pusher as well.
Yeah, it was a great Monster Energy Chevy. Thanks to Ganassi and all my guys for preparing a good car. We just didn't get the finish we wanted today.
All right, Kurt was in the middle of it all day. Kelly finishes early, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Matt DiBenedetto was in the middle of all that carnage, and it looked like it was actually the nose of your car that helped the 62 of Brendan Gaughan flip around. What was your vantage point?
Yeah, I saw a car go up in the air and over. It's just crazy. I don't know. Car was fast, pushed great, obviously, and I really wanted to get these guys. The one bite pizza car, I mean, I was a bright red pizza. You couldn't miss me out there, that's for sure. I wanted to get this car to victory lane so bad for Toyota and LFR. It just stinks being that close so much, but man, that's insane. I was pushing Kurt earlier before that all happened, and just focused on pushing ahead of me because my car did it so well. You can lock on the guys in front of me, but I don't know. It seems like a dang routine, man. Run a super speedway race, and then I meet you guys here for an interview after the care center. It's just, these races are crazy.
Yeah, how did you even bide your time to be in a position there at the end, relatively unscathed at that point?
Yeah, we did it right up until then. We were just racing smart, and at the end of stage 2, I was like, man, they are getting racy, and I felt like a wreck was going to happen, and I backed off. Boom, big wreck. I'm like, all right, we're doing good, and then here we go. I don't know, man. Unless you just ride around in the back and take a decent finish, that's not what we're here to do. It's just everyone gets so aggressive at the end, and it's a game of survival. I mean, I'd love to be a fan watching, if that counts for anything. It's definitely entertaining, but man, it's irritating to end up interviewing. No offense, Kelly, but interviewing you after the care center all the time.
All right, Matt, thank you for your time. Dave?
Well, with Brendan Gaughan, who thankfully is laughing coming out of the infield. He heard what Matt said to Kelly, so that's why he's in a good mood here, but not in a good mood for losing that race car. How close were you to maybe picking up the W here today?
Listen, I've said for years that in the off-road we flip a lot. The easiest thing you can do in a race car is go upside down. Nothing hits hard. So that's the nicest thing about it. And, here we go. I don't even know what happened. I just know that Brad was pushing the crap out of me, and I loved it. Oh, that's Stenhouse. Go figure. Yeah, it stuck the landing. Russian judge docked me a little bit. I didn't keep it straight. No, I mean, look, the Beard Oil Chevy, man, we ran a great strategy. Darren Shaw, Ron Lewis, my spotter, everybody. It was awesome. I mean, 62 was in front for a split second. And let's see, legs together. I mean, didn't really stick it well. But no, like I said, I'm just so proud of, thank you to ECR and Richard Childress and those guys, the Chevrolet they gave me. Thank you to Darren and Ron and all the guys in this team. I mean, the Beard family, I love them. Mother, it's okay. It's just a flip. It didn't hurt, I promise. And I have nothing upstairs to hurt anyway, so they all laugh at me in there.
I did want to verify that, because when these cars come down at funny angles for race cars, like flat like that, the back's okay and everything?
Yeah, no, because you're still going 200 mile an hour that way. So it never like just drops out of the sky. So it was okay. It was just one easy quick flip and put it down. The only thing you're worried about then is somebody hitting you. You know, that's what you don't want. That's where the fear comes in. But other than that, I'm fine. And like I said, some people would argue if I have anything up there to hurt. But thank you to Chevrolet. Thank you to the Beard family. I love you guys. And yes, I will see you in the Daytona 500, Mom. Sorry.
February, it's coming. Kelly?
Well, a really good opportunity for David Reagan gone to ride there. And man, it looked like you were almost ahead of that crash. What happened?
Yeah, our Envision USA Ford Mustang was pretty good. It drove really good all day. And I saw Brendan get turned in front of us, and I think I kind of went under him or behind him, and I could see clean air. I'd already thought about crewing, hitting my button and saying, we're good to go. And, yeah, I think someone just clipped me in the left rear. We had a great day. We played our cards right. Mike Kelly and our Front Row Motorsports team made good adjustments all day, and that's just Talladega racing. Everyone races extremely hard, and that's guys being really aggressive toward the end of the race. So hopefully all the fans that stuck around enjoyed it, tuned in on TV, had fun. I'm sure it's going to be some more excitement these last few laps. So I'll get back and pull for my two teammates up there.
All right, David Reagan, a former winner here at Talladega, but it's not going to happen today, Marty.
If you want to know how important 1 point is, Kelly, Brad Keselowski tried to crank up his car and make it around on the apron for one lap. Didn't get very far, and that's as far as they got. They were trying, though, Steve, just to gain 2 more spots. And in essence, by doing that, by leaving pit road, they passed Brendan Gaughan and Kurt Busch. And here he is at the end of pit road. By doing that, they gained 2 spots, 2 points. Isn't that amazing?
Well, you never know next week what 2 points is going to matter.
2 points, right. And so we're seeing Brad Keselowski is climbing out of his car. One playoff driver, the driver of the 12, Ryan Blaney, he had a spin at the front of the field when he came to pit road. He now is leading. All right, let's see if we can dial up the driver of the 10, Eric Almirola, running second.
Hey, Eric's Booth Boys, you got us?
Yeah, I got you, boys.
Man, you have a little 2-lap shootout coming. What you plan?
Try and win. Give away some more free bacon.
So how do you do that, bud? You're going to try to work with the guy behind you to get a good push? What's the communication like in there right now?
Honestly, you just got to see how it develops. I mean, I always equate these speedway races like walking up to the line of scrimmage as the quarterback, and you're just constantly calling an audible because everything around you is changing, and you got to adapt. So, I don't know. I got a few things in my head that I feel like if I execute and it goes to plan, it could get us to victory lane. But there's a lot of varying strategies, and you can't control everybody else. So that's the hard thing.
Well, we all love bacon up here, so we'll pull them for you, man. Have fun.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bacon and
Hopefully
flames.
We can do it again. Put this Smithfield Ford Mustang in victory lane. So we'll see.
He's done it before. We'll see if he can do it again. All right, let's flash back.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Rick. He did it again. It was a year ago. His teammate at the time, 41 of Kurt Busch, led 108 laps and run short on fuel in that last lap. This race was dominated by Stewart-Haas Racing, and in the end, a Stewart-Haas Racing Ford, namely the 10 of Eric Almirola, in that beautiful Smithfield paint scheme, went to victory lane. You see the excitement with the family, and here we are a year later with the same opportunity.
I think.
Guys, this is amazing. Look at the top 10 right now. Look at the 10 that are going to start this race with 2 laps to go. Ryan Blaney, Eric Almirola, Ty Dillon, Ryan Newman, Michael McDowell, Austin Dillon, Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Matt Crafton filling in right now for Paul Menard.
I think that makes this decision of what Blaney's going to pick, what lane you're going to pick. I think that makes it more difficult. Like, which car do you want behind you? I don't think you've raced with these guys enough to really know which car can push you very well.
I think you have to pull into that inside line. If you're using hand signals like most of these drivers are doing, and you're in the outside line, you're singling